If you've been hitting the gym, lifting weights, doing cardio, but you're still having a hard time getting that waistline down, still having a hard time getting your body to look in shape the way you want it to, whether you have your clothes on, your suits, or when you take your clothes off. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to cut your workout time in half because most times for executives, CEOs, and busy professionals, man, they actually shoot themselves in the foot. They're doing way more than what they actually need to do to get the results that they want. And so I'm going to break down what the structure and strategy should look like. That way you are getting better results while spending less time in the gym. Okay. And so the first thing is this: you have to realize this very important thing. You cannot outwork poor nutrition habits. I see way too many busy professionals who are hitting the gym and they're doing hours of cardio. They're lifting the weights. Some of them are doing two a day workouts because they've seen somebody on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok saying, hey, if you work out twice a day, you'll get faster results. But the truth is, it's not a matter of like how much time you spend in the gym as much as it is the execution of what you do, which we're going to share. I'm going to talk to you more about that in a second. But the most important part is the nutrition. The nutrition does the heavy lifting. I'm going to say it again. The nutrition does the heavy lifting. Most people think they have to go to the gym and do hours of cardio. They got to lift weight, do light weight, a whole bunch of reps, or do heavy weight and do circuit training or do the HIIT training to lose weight. That's not what's causing the weight loss. That's what we call strength training. Now, cardio is like cardiovascular, but when you're lifting and doing like exercise, working your muscles, that is strength training. Okay. That's what's going to tighten your muscles. That's what's going to tone you. But you won't see the tone if you don't dial in your eating habits. This is where I help a lot of professionals and I show them how to, in short, build a healthy relationship with food. Because most times they're working out, but they're eating fast food all the time. They're emotionally eating, so they're eating a lot of junk food when they get home. They're eating the pastas, they're eating the tacos, they're eating the French fries, they're eating, the Ben and Jerry. They're emotionally eating, and so it's very important that you start eating, in a way that's going to help you lean out. Okay, not just eat based on pleasure and convenience, but eat based on value. Okay, Marty says a busy person has less time to overeat, and that's how it should be. But there's a lot of people who are extremely busy. They still have a hard time losing weight because they are overeating. And so I do appreciate you sharing that. But it's just a little bit more. It's a little bit deeper. And so here's what I mean by that. Most busy professionals, when they come to me and we do these game plan calls, and I'm assessing their situation, and a lot of times they are eating healthy. They are. But the issue that they're just most people are not aware of is there's no good food, there's no bad food, like most trainers might make you think. There's just foods that have less nutritional value and foods that have more nutritional value. Typically, the foods that have lower nutritional value, they are dense in calories. Pastas, spaghetti, pizza. These foods are dense with calories, low in nutritional value. This is why a lot of people have a hard time losing weight and they're eating Chick-fil-A sandwiches with French fries with a soda on the side or a lemonade on the side. Dense with calories, yeah, you'll feel full. It's gonna take away that brain fog that you had, maybe, but it's packed with calories. And this is why a lot of people who are really busy, they're just grabbing and going, like, oh, I just ate once or twice a day. I don't know why I can't lose this stomach. Well, it's not a matter of like how many times you ate. It's more of a matter of what did you eat? Because what you ate could have had 1,000, 2,000 calories in it. A lot of people don't realize this. And so when you do away with a lot of the fast food, I'm not saying you can't eat fast food ever, because I still eat fast food. I just don't do it as much as most people do. And so it's more important to eat nutritionally dense foods. Okay, steak, chicken, eggs, green leafy vegetables, fruits. Okay, of course, the portions have to be dialed in. Those are the types of things I help my clients with. But when you eat more nutritionally dense foods, they're lower in calories. Fruits, vegetables, if you start tracking these things in an app like MyFitnessPal, look and see how many calories. You'll be able to see how much calories is in it. You'll be able to see how much nutritional value is in it. You'll be able to say, okay, well, this chicken right here, tons of protein. It is 25, 30 grams of protein. Great. Then the calories are low. Same thing with steak, fruits, vegetables, the whole nine. And so when you eat this way, it makes it easier to slim down because I'm going to give you an analogy. And not even an analogy, it's just like, would you rather spend an hour on the treadmill to burn 500 or 600 calories? Or would you just rather remove 500 or 600 calories from your diet by not drinking sodas, not drinking juice, not drinking the simply lemonades and the sweet teas, you know, cutting back on the chips and the crackers and the trail mix, you know? These types of foods are processed, but also dense with calories, but very little nutrients. This is why a lot of people, I used to be this way at one point. I would eat foods like this, and then I'd say to myself, dude, I just ate like 30 minutes ago. Why am I hungry again? Because the body isn't just craving calories, it's craving the nutrients that the food either has or doesn't have. And so if you're eating a lot of empty calorie foods like chips, crackers, and trail mix, you're gonna get hungry faster. And then you're gonna find yourself eating again and then again. And then this is how people end up having insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes. You can't have heart disease. Guys, you are professionals. Some of you guys are executives. You know, you guys are CEOs. You can't, guys, your energy is an advantage. But if you don't have the energy and you don't have your health, you don't have that unfair advantage to be able to compete in the business world. You don't have the energy and the mental bandwidth to be able to have time and energy to spend with your family when you get off work because you zapped, burned out. And so it's not about doing more in the gym because you can work out literally 30, 45 minutes in the gym and get phenomenal results. Okay. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that in a second. But the nutrition is what's gonna help you lean out. It's not what you do in the gym. Okay. The gym is gonna tighten, tone you, make you feel stronger. Okay. Number two, you gotta stop obsessing. You have to stop obsessing over hitting the gym. I see somebody comment, I don't know what language that is, so I can't even address what you just said. If you put it in English, I'll be able to read it. But you have to stop obsessing over being in the gym all day long. Okay. The people who are really successful at transforming their body, building muscle, burning fat, getting all lean, cut up, like they're no better than a person who is out of shape. They just know certain things that the other people don't. Okay. And so here's what I mean by this. If you are in the gym all the time and you start to burn out because you're in the gym, you're really obsessing, you're trying to get that weight off of you. So you're doing more cardio, you're doing it 2 a days. Here's what's happening. You're slowing down your recovery because your body isn't having the opportunity to recover based on what your training plan or lack thereof, what you may be doing. And so I see a lot of people burn out. I see a lot of people injure themselves because they're not properly recovering. I see a lot of people start to develop brain fog and it starts to kind of like work against them. They're sleepy at work when they need energy. They're tired when they get home and they're exhausted when they should have energy to be able to spend time with their family. And so it's not a matter of like doing more. It's more about like having structure on what you need to do when you hit the gym so you're not guessing. And so that way you can work out 3 or 4 days a week and still be getting results, have tons of energy because you can leverage the nutrition, your sleeping patterns, as well as your hydration patterns to give you energy. Okay. All these things are going to help you. Like they all have to work together. The workout by itself, if you do that, but not the other things, you'll burn out or you'll give up because you're not seeing the belly fat go down or you're not seeing the weight go down. I see this happen to tons of people. And so, very important. dial in your nutrition, and then develop some structure with what you're doing in the gym. Okay. And so now we're about to talk a little bit more about that because recovery is very important. If you don't have recovery time, your muscles won't develop the way you want them to because you're not giving them a chance to recover from sleep, from proper nutrition. That's why we have protein. Protein isn't just something just to help you build muscle, it helps your muscles recover. This is why we have to have protein in our diet, okay? And not just focus on calories. Uh, so the last thing, execution over time. Execution over time. A lot of people think they need to do more, but it's actually about what you do when you go. Let me give you an example. So, um, I've been doing this over 16 years. And the first decade, a little bit over a decade, I did in person training. And I had the pleasure of training some very astute professionals, some people who are very, busy, demanding careers, news anchors, and who work for CNBC and, celebrities and pro athletes like Brendan Haywood. And one of the big things is they didn't have a lot of time. And so at one point, when I first started my personal training career in person, I was training people for an hour. And I realized a lot of my clients didn't have that kind of time to be in the gym all day long because they had to drive to the gym, train for an hour, then drive back home. And there's nothing wrong. Like some people do have an hour, right? But it just wasn't always convenient for them. And so as I progressed in my career doing in-person training, I cut down the amount of time I trained my clients and I started training them for 30 to 35 minutes. And they were getting better results. What changed for them to get better results? I understood how to help them execute with the time we had. Okay? It's all about the execution. A lot of people who are in the gym there's people we see all the time in the gym for an hour and a half, 2 hours, still struggling with their weight, still got that big stomach, taking testosterone and everything, still overweight. I'm like, wow. Taking all these supplements and medications, all this time in the gym, still not getting results. But then you can have somebody who's working out 30 minutes, 45 minutes, completely transform their body. If you're winging it, you're going to get winging it results. And it's going to take way longer. But if you have structure, that's why I talked about structure earlier. When you have structure, that gives you speed and that saves you time because you know exactly what steps you need to take, exactly how much rest you need to have, exactly how many reps you need to do, exactly how much cardio you need to do. Like there was no guessing. When people used to walk in the gym back when I trained in person, it was like, all right, let's go warm up. Hop on the treadmill 5 minutes. We got legs today. After they warm up, all right, cool. Let's hop into the first set. We got a warm up set. Knock out this warm up set. They knock it out. All right, you got about 60 seconds. They walking around, moving, warming up. All right, got the big boy weight. Let's do it. And they get done with that first exercise, that first real set, not the warm up set, but the real working set. Legs on fire. They got a minute, minute and a half before they do the next set. And then when they do that next set, they can't even do the whole amount of reps because of the effectiveness of how you train. Like the weight that you use, the pace that you do doing those reps. These are things that people don't really talk about. Like it's not about being in the gym all the time. It's about how are you maximizing the time that you have. You have to understand how to train effectively, not like doing the reps super fast because it looked good. The person who doing this super fast because it looked good, they're not going to be able to be stronger and outperform the person who is going slower doing their reps. And the person who's going slower doing their reps, they may not be able to do as many, but their muscles are going to develop so much faster. Like when you're going slow, let me know down in the comments. When you're going slow doing your reps, it tends to burn a little bit more. Your muscles tend to fatigue a little bit faster. You might not be able to get all those reps out because you're going slower. That slowing down of your pace increases the intensity of the exercise. And so that way, if you don't want to lift extremely heavy weight, because I have coaching clients who have had shoulder injuries, chest injuries, back, leg injuries, I don't have them do a whole bunch of heavy weight. I can help them slow down their pace. Hey, slow down your pace. They feel that same intensity, that same pressure, you know, without putting all that stress and resistance from that heavy weight on their joints. So that way we can spare their joints without them getting injured. Okay? Super important. I'm giving y'all some game today. Real game. And so this is how a lot of my coaching clients like and these are people who are paying $1,000 a month, 1,500, 2,000 a month for 30-minute workouts. And it got to the point where when I wanted to step into doing coaching like this full time, my clients in person kept reeing up. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm gonna ever be able to walk away from doing in-person training because they kept coming back. And so you have to realize like once you get this, once you understand how to train effectively, you'll understand you can do way more, get way better results, tone more, burn more fat, build more muscle while spending less time in the gym. Less time in the gym. A lot of my coaching clients on that I have now, because I do coaching and not in-person training, I haven't seen 95% of these people in person ever. It's people in Texas, California, Florida, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. They all over the place. But they're working out 3, 4 days a week and dropping 40, 50, 60 pounds in 6 months. I have a coaching client named Brandon Dix, down 75 pounds in a year. I have another coaching client named Ann Hollins, down 110 pounds. And she's been in the program 2 years, but she dropped like 80 her first year. Yes, ladies, you can drop weight just as fast as guys, but you got to have structure. And of course, you got to put in the effort. You got to be committed. But these are the things that help you save time, but allow for you to get better results. These are the things that most trainers who just talk about weight loss, this is why a lot of people who just lose weight from the weight loss trainers, they end up gaining it back. Or they lose weight, but they're like, my muscles don't look, my body not toned the way I want it to look like. I need to tone this up. Oh man, I love doing that, but it just takes up too much time. I can't stick with it. And so they gain the weight back. Execution, structure, and having the right strategy that fits you, not somebody else. When you get this, this is how you transform your body and perform at a high level in your career. Because you know you look the part, so your image on point, you got plenty of energy, and so now you can really compete at a high level. If you're tired going into work and your career and your business, it's only so much that you can do because you feel like you only have so much capacity because you don't have the energy. And so, guys, that's your unfair advantage. Less equals more. All right. If you want help from me, you want some structure, you want a game plan step by step that fits you, and you'd like to have some professional accountability, okay, to make sure that you hit your goals. Okay. Comment the link, hit the link down in the description below, and you'll learn more about, I have some details showing you exactly how I help my coaching clients. All right. Well, other than that, guys, we are out of here. Let's get it.